Libra, this is your June tarot reading. June for all zodiac signs is an important month, a month with many things going on, but also a month in which I think things don't actually get resolved. And I think yours is no exception. If I look at that central card there, the Ten of Pentacles, is it Ten of Pentacles? Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. It's a card of happy families. It's a card of blessings. There are a couple of things on it that on this rendering that concern me, but I'll come to that when we give the bigger explanation. In recent past, you've been struggling with all that you need to do. Probably you have dependencies. And you're finding it a bit of a struggle, but I think you're actually doing quite well. Now you seem to have got some knowledge, probably knowledge based on experience, some information by which you can understand what is going on in the world and how it's impacting on you. Why I say that I don't think things get resolved is we have a tower moment outside of this month. But I'm seeing the tower right now as a very necessary thing at this time of massive change. And it's the destruction of maybe your ideas. It may be physical destruction of things around you, but destruction of ideas so that you can rebuild. And I think that's a very positive thing, you know, even though it may not feel like it. The energy that leads to the outcome is you getting disillusioned and walking away. What are you walking away from? Well, we don't know. I mean, it could be this loving relationship, but I don't think it is. What would change the outcome is a change almost being imposed upon you. And with that should come some good luck. But the outcome isn't a bad outcome. It's an outcome of working with others to achieve things. So the messages aren't clear in this, as they're not for most signs during this month. But, you know, although some of it may seem very negative, I think there's a great deal of hope and positivity in this, even though, you know, nobody enjoys a tower moment. So let's look at these individually. Now, a part of the reason why I'm quite positive about this spread for you is the energy that dominates it is that of the Ten of Pentacles. It's a card of happy families. It's a card of blessings. Yeah, a card of families. Let's keep it at that for now. You look at it, I mean, you know, they're so much in love. They're on that pedestal with their son and their two Scotty dogs. What does give me misgivings about this card is, who is that woman down below with a tarot card, or with a card in her hand? Is she jealous? You know, whenever people are openly happy, it brings out the jealousy in some others. Is that a warning? The other warning is that looks to be a military space or military blimp in the background, you know? So it's suggesting that you found happiness, but maybe around you there isn't happiness. Is this all that's going on in the world? And this runs throughout the entire reading. Now, in the past, we have a card that may be the opposite of that happy families. Queen of Pentacles. I always call her the single mother card, and you might You might well be male. You might not have children. But just going with that single mother card, let's talk about that. You know, she's somebody that's got these children, these dependents. You look at the rendering, she's kicked the toys under the bed, she's slapped on some makeup, put on that dress, and she looks wonderful at the opera, but she's thinking, I wonder if they've gone to sleep, I wonder if they're all right, you know. Somebody that selflessly devotes themselves to others. Probably thinks that she does a bad job, but is probably doing a very good job. So, you know, it's an energy of you being somewhat selfless, doing the right thing, maybe feeling tired, maybe feeling a burden, but knowing that that's what you must do. So this happy families could be very welcome to you, because that was the past. Now your current energy, the King of Swords, he's a very wise king. Sort of king that people come to for advice. Somebody that's got the information that maybe others haven't. Somebody that probably has gained that information just not simply through learning, but through experience. So I think more than the other zodiac signs, you have a good feeling about what's going on in the world and how it's impacting you. Maybe you don't have all the answers, and of course wisdom would be telling you that you don't have all the answers, wouldn't it? To be truly wise would know that you don't know. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. In the future, we have a tower moment. When I say future, I mean almost certainly after June. And a tower is a destruction of things. It could be physical destruction of things in your life. It could be loss of job, loss of family, loss of all sorts of things. But given the other energies, I can't help but feel that this might be a destruction of your ideas. You know, we've just had this card of wisdom. And as I said, wisdom is knowing what you don't know. And I think this could be a destruction of what you thought you knew. And this is happening an awful lot at the moment across many, many signs, you know. And once we've had this, then we have to start again. We have to rebuild on firmer foundations. So right at this moment of massive change, I don't see the tower as a bad thing. It might feel like it to you, but it feels like a necessary thing, looking at this reading. Now, the energy that leads to the outcome is you getting disillusioned and walking away from things. We don't quite know what you're walking away from. Could it be this family? I don't think it is. It's more likely to be your beliefs or your way of life. And you've got thoroughly disillusioned with things, and you're saying, I've had enough, I don't want any more to do with it. And maybe you've been part of the system that has created so many of the problems in the world. Maybe that's it. I'm not at all certain. But I think it's quite a profound card, particularly to have here. This disillusionment leads to the outcome, which I don't necessarily see as a bad outcome. But what would change the outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. More change. Now, we've had a similar juxtaposition of the Wheel of Fortune in this position when the outcome wasn't necessarily a bad outcome. I think it was probably even for Leo. But, you know, why would changing fortunes change the outcome? It's the end of a cycle, which you should have learned from. It also is a cycle that should bring with it good luck. And maybe it's just what I concluded, and if it was Leo, was that if you don't, no, I can't even say that. No, it's almost the universe intervening and bringing things along that would probably be happening anyway. Maybe you avoid the tower with this change because of it could be a less dramatic turnover. Maybe that's it. As I say, the outcome isn't necessarily a bad outcome. So what am I to make of it? The outcome is Three of Pentacles, working together, working with others to achieve something. Were you simply walking away from trying to do everything by yourself? I've got a feeling that this is far more profound than that. I think it's a good thing to be doing, to be working with others. You know, I think it's a grand thing to be working with others at these times of uncertainty. So I don't see it as a bad outcome, but after the outcome we have the Tower, and the Wheel of Fortune would change things. So I'm not sure. We need a bit of clarity, don't we? And I'm going to seek clarity on what it is you're disillusioned with. What are you walking away from? The first card we get is Ten of Wands, a card of burden. So that fits in with that Queen of Pentacles. You know, you're feeling the burden of the world. And maybe that Queen of Pentacles wasn't about your dependence, but feeling an obligation towards the whole of humanity, you know, because this is the 10. Suggests you're feeling the burden of the world on your shoulders and you're struggling a little, but you know an end is in sight. And then we have the Hermit, so you've gone inside yourself looking for answers, and maybe what you've found isn't welcome. And the final card is a card of deception. Well, we've all had enough of deception, but have you been a part of the deception as well? Now, I think this Ten of Wands is extremely telling. As I say, you know, the Queen of Pentacles, it suggests it's your own family, whereas this does suggest to me that you're feeling a responsibility towards the wider community, feeling a responsibility to do the right things, and it's been a bit of a struggle, but you know an end is nearly over. I wonder if your occupation has been one that has been a part of the deceit that's going on in the world. Maybe you're a politician, maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a journalist, heaven forbid, a PR consultant, you know. But I think you're complicit in what you see as some of the deception and nastiness of the world. And that's what you're walking away from. Why do we have that happy families? Oh, of course. Do you remember I said the happy families, you know, you've been blessed with a happy family, you're focusing on it, when all around seems to be in destruction. Yeah. Of course, we've had the King of Swords, whereby I said you're wise, and rather profoundly I said you're wise enough to know what you don't know, and because of that you've gone inside yourself looking for answers, and what you found you don't like. And it is because you're realising that whilst we can point the finger at many people for deception, that maybe there isn't a evil genius or cadre of evil genii, even though there are many obvious people to choose. But you're realising it's systemic and you're a part of that system. And that's what you're finding a little distasteful. And you probably can no longer just console yourself in your family and keep doing what you're doing, because you do feel this guilt, this burden of guilt. Libra, I doubt if you're a revolutionary. I doubt if you're an anarchist. I think you have been an upstanding member of society, someone who cares, somebody who's tried to do the right thing. But you're beginning to realise there's just a little too much deception in this world, a little bit too much greed, a little bit too much corruption, a little bit too much manipulation, a few too many people who refuse to admit their guilt even when found out. And like us all, you're finding this increasingly distasteful. And that's your reason for turning your back on things. Even though it may harm your family, you're realising it's the right thing to do. And it is the right thing to do. And it may harm your family, but we live in times of unprecedented change, and you will be rewarded eventually for your actions. Libra, this reading for June hasn't gone the way I expected it to. But let me reassure you that however alarming it may sound, you're doing the right thing, and I have confidence that the future will reward you for having done the right thing. You've sort of been focused on your family and allowing the turmoil in the world to go on around you without letting it affect you too much. But nevertheless, you feel a huge sense of responsibility. You might even like to call that duty towards humanity, the community. Yeah, a huge sense of duty. I suspect you even work in a profession that involves that sense of duty. Maybe an educator, maybe a medic, maybe a politician, maybe a journalist. And people see you as a wise person, but you're wise enough to know what you don't know. And as a result of that, you go inside yourself looking for answers, and what you find, you're quite appalled by. You realise you've been a part of a system that has lied to humanity for no reason, compulsive lying, has deceived humanity for the sake of deception, has been greedy for the sake of greed, have manipulated for the sake of manipulation, and corrupted for the sake of corruption. And you don't like it at all, and you realise your own minor part in it, and you're walking away from it. Even though it may harm your family, you're walking away from it. Now, my father was a whistleblower, and he did something similar to what you're about to do, and it grossly affected he and my mother's latter years, and my mother never forgave him, but I admire the hell out of him for it. And so you're going to walk away from things, but as a result of that, you find others that you can work with, others that share your views. However, as a result of it, there will be repercussions. Something in your world will come tumbling down. It could be physical, but it might simply be your beliefs. But it's necessary because, as you know, they were built on the wrong foundation. What might change this is because of you're already having these feelings, already thinking in this way, is that the world or the universe may create the changes for you and it will be less painful. Indeed, it will bring a degree of luck to you. So as I say, I don't see this as a bad reading at all. It's about necessary change. And nor will things be resolved in this month. But you're moving in the right direction, Libra. You certainly are.